When did you realize you were on a date with a psychopath? I was fresh out of a 3-year relationship, and felt like a bit of casual dating would be fun, so I decided I would give Tinder a try. I made it clear to the few people I actually matched with that I didn't actually want anything serious, just a dinner date or a pub night here and there. Around a week or so after creating my account, I matched with a really cute guy. I'll call him Pete. He had just moved to my city and also wasn't looking for anything serious, he just wanted to meet some people and see some local spots. The first night, we met up at a well-known tapas bar. I chose this place because I had a few friends that were waitresses and bar staff there, so I felt safe meeting a stranger here. He was on time, we had nice chats, and he was overall just a really cool guy. We talked about work, where we were staying now, and it turned out he was a software engineer that had only moved here a couple months ago. He was currently staying with some friends, and since I knew rent was quite pricey, I didn't question it. He asked where I live, and I told him I was lucky enough to have a nice single-bedroom apartment in the downtown area. He then offered to drop me off at home, but I said no, I'd prefer to Uber home by myself. He asked if this was because I was meeting someone else after him, and I laughed because I genuinely thought this was a joke. Turns out it was the first red flag of many that I walked past. The next time I saw Pete was 3 days later. He said he knew it was soon, but he actually couldn't stop thinking about me and he wanted to see me again. I figured what the hell, and met him at a different restaurant. I chose this one because I also knew the owner as I went to school with him. This place was much pricier and he got really annoyed that I was ordering expensive food. I couldn't understand why, since I insisted on paying for my own stuff both times we met. That night, same story, let me drop you off at home, please. Again, I respectfully declined. We were in the middle of this conversation when he got a call. He stepped away but I could still hear a fair amount. No, I think I'm gonna stay with you again. Yeah, I'm with her. Don't worry about it. Okay, I'll be home soon. I figured he was probably chatting to his roommate or maybe his mom, but I didn't ask. He comes back to our table. Please, I insist. Bad things happen to women that Uber home this late by themselves. I'd feel better if I dropped you off. Not having the energy to argue, I told him fine, and I put my address into his GPS. As soon as he got home, he messaged me and told me he'd be picking me up in the morning to go for a picnic. I told him I had cleaning to do, but he was insistent and I caved. Come 10 a.m. the next morning, and best believe he was right outside my door. As soon as I got into his car, he leaned over and tried to kiss me. Obviously I'm a little grossed out, but I didn't want to ruin the picnic so I just avoided it. We had our picnic and it was quite nice. He tried to kiss me a few more times, but I avoided it with everything in me. At around 4 p.m., I started feeling tired and told him I wanted to go home. The park we went to was an hour-and-a-half drive away from town, so Ubering would be impossible. He agreed that it was time to go so we got in his car and headed out. I fell asleep in the car on the drive back, and when I woke up he asked if we should finish the rest of the bubbly we got for mimosas up at my apartment. I told him I didn't want to, and he snapped. He raised his voice, and said something along the lines of, "What are you hiding from me? Just be honest. Why are you so desperate to keep me out of your apartment?" I was so confused that I actually couldn't speak. He dropped me off, but I could see his car across from my apartment for about half an hour before he actually left. 5 minutes after he left, he texted me saying he got home safe, and that he thought he was falling for me. Okay. What the hell? I was a little freaked out since I made it very clear I didn't want anything serious. I told him that if he felt that way we should stop hanging out because the feelings were not mutual. We didn't speak for 5 days, until he messaged me asking if I wanted to go out to an Indian restaurant he knew I'd love. Stupidly, I agreed, since I hadn't eaten yet, and I told him to text me the address so I could meet him there. Well, he was insistent on picking me up.